Hi, it's Hella from Don Emporium, and going to go into a conspiracy theory. That's the best way to put it. And yeah, it's not my usual line, but it's a fun one. Uh, was Beethoven black? Now, I grew up like a lot of people, thinking and getting told that he was white, and then I saw a portrait of Beethoven that was by Gandolf Ernst Steinhauser von Treuberg from around 1800, and it's the first known portrait of Beethoven. The portrait itself has gone missing, but there's a copper engraving of the original portrait, and that's what people see these days. Now, here's the thing, classical music is usually just, you automatically think white people, usually rich white people. And to think that a mixed heritage man had anything to do with Fer Elise is probably pretty mind-blowing to some people. Now, the von Treuberg portrait, it looks nothing like the later photos of him, pictures even, portraits. Most of them were painted after his death, and most of them, the only thing that seems to be in common with pictures after his death and before his death was the hair, the big hair. Now, the anyone who's seen a black and white photograph knows that you can get a lot of colour out of black and white. Two colours, there's a lot of variance. You can see light, shade, there's a lot of depth of colour going on. The thing that stuck out to me wasn't his lips, which actually are very large for someone of European ancestry, or his skull shape, which it could pass as European ancestry, but would possibly not. Or his hair, the hair could be from anywhere. It was the tone of his skin, because he had a cravat on, which you'd assume would be white or cream. Then he had a waistcoat on, and then he had a jacket on, and the jacket would be dark and actually shows quite a lot of depth of colour and material. And then the waistcoat was a shade in between. It was fairly pale, whatever colour it was originally, as in when he was wearing it. And his skin is actually really dark. Now you sit there and go, they can get a pale waistcoat in. His skin wouldn't be that dark if he was pale. So either he's like me, I mean, I'm ginger, but I can actually go quite dark when I tan, and he'd just been in the sun a lot, or he was constantly fairly dark skinned or very dark skinned. He looked fairly dark skinned in the picture. So I was sitting there going, actually, I don't think he's as white as what everybody's been telling me my entire life. Now, there are rumours, nobody knows, because it's not like we go down the pub with Beethoven these days, strangely enough, that if he was mixed heritage, it's believed it's because his father was German and white, but his mother was a Spanish Moor. Now, Moors are not white. That would be the best way to put it. they live in Spain. I think it's the southern part of Spain where they live. And are they the Muslim sect that lives there? I've forgotten now. I didn't write it down. That was very stupid of me, really. But what I'm thinking was he white passing? Was he obviously mixed heritage? Does it really matter? Actually, no. Because, well, actually, in a way it does, in a way it doesn't. The fact that it doesn't matter is because it's not going to impact on his music, right? So the man is dead. It's not going to change anything what skin tone he had in life. But it does matter in another way, because if he was part Moor and we've made him look white, yet again we've whited out a black person from history. And yet again, shame on white people for that. So I'd like to know, just to find out if we've done the dastardly deed yet again, which it wouldn't surprise me if we have. But in another way, it's not going to make any difference here and now. But while we're all sitting there fawning over the fact that was he black, was he white passing, was he obviously, mixed heritage, was his mother a Moor or was she something else, we're missing out on other black composers. And I am in no way brainwashing you by wearing this t-shirt. Skin dread. Completely different type of music, admittedly. But we've got people like Joseph Bologne, William Grant Still, George Bridgewater, Samuel Coleridge-Taylor, Florence Price, Francis Johnson, Scott Joplin, Julius Eastman, Marian Anderson, Herbie Hancock, and Zenobia Perry, to name but a few. If you put black composers in, or black classical composers, into your search engine, you can narrow it down more. You can go for African American, you can go for Afro-Caribbean, you can go for English black or French black or Italian black composers, operatics. Again, you can do the same again. Narrow it down as much as you want, whatever you want, and you can find composers. All of those, apart from I think one, were actually from the last century alone. I think actually all of them might have been from the last century. I did find one that was, I think he was active about 1860 to 1910 or something. It's a nice suit, and a good cuddly belly as well. I'm a bit of a dad bod fan, but I don't know if I put his name down. But yeah, so if you're interested in it, why not look at known black composers instead of thinking about him, unless of course you're like me and you actually just want to get sore over the fact that yet again we could have whited out somebody who didn't deserve to get whited out, because that does annoy me a lot. Yeah. Hang on, let's see if I've missed anything. Yeah, as all I've put here is, frankly, if it gets people to listen to more high melanin composers, it's a good thing. Because, honestly, when people think of composers, even to this day, most people sit there and they reel off Tchaikovsky and Bach and people like that, and you're sitting there going, that's white, it's white, 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 white. It's quite depressing. Imagine living in a white world where everything is white. Well, that's what history has tried to do multiple times. So let's fight that and add some colour in there. Seriously, because I'm sick of white. Yeah, so go through your music. Look out for some black composers. See if they've got any music that you like. Have a look. If you don't like classical music, have a look for music you do like that have black writers, black singers, are entirely black. I mean, I'm hearing my Skindred, the lead singer. He's awesome. Again, he's got a good dad bod. Last time I saw him, he had a good dad bod. But apart from wanting to cuddle him to the point of probably breaking ribs, he is just amazing live. So, yeah, just go find whatever music you like, listen to it, and remember, it doesn't really, in certain ways, matter about whether or not Beethoven was black, white, purple, or was actually a Yeti. Because he did some awesome music, and if you love his music, then you listen to his music with pride. Fur-Elise is actually one of my favourites. But what does matter is if we have whited him out, that shouldn't be allowed. That should never be allowed. That is just horrendous. And that's my problem with it. A lot of people are saying, oh no, we haven't. We don't know anymore. We honestly don't. And the portraits that were taken in his lifetime suggest that maybe we have. I can't say for sure, I don't know. But maybe we have, maybe we've whited out one of our greats. That's such a shame. Anyway, have fun, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and know your power. Bye.